Hello everyone and welcome to BBA Simplified. I am Dr. Vinky Sharma and today we begin our marathon class on organization behavior, often called the human side of management. Through this session you will learn what OB means, its scope, its models and how global diversity influences people at work. So let's get started. Let's begin understanding the meaning and concept of OB. It is generally called as the study of human behavior in organizational setting. So we say that it is actually talking about how people are behaving inside the organization. Because any individual would be behaving in a particular manner, and these behaviors changes when we also change the environment or the setting we are in. The way we behave inside the organization would be different and the way we behave outside the organization would be different. But this subject, particularly organizational behavior, we will be discussing only the human behavior inside the organization. So actually it is helping us in examining the individuals, groups and the structure of organization so that we can understand that what drives the behavior and performance of the employees. This is a combination of, or it is driven by the psychology, sociology and management to explain that how people interact among each other in a different setting over the project or the task that has been given to them. So basically we are saying that it is making it both scientific and practical. For example, when two employees react differently to the same feedback, have you ever wondered why this happens? OB will help you to explain why. Now let's understand the nature and characteristics of OB. We say that OB is a behavioral science. So when we talk about this first characteristic, that it is a scientific approach or it is a behavioral science approach, we need to understand that it is systematic but adaptable. Individuals adapt themselves towards the environment. It is goal oriented because the ultimate aim is to improve the organizational effectiveness, right? So in whatever way an individual is behaving, we say that it is always goal oriented and action driven. Then we say that it is multidisciplinary. Why? Because as we had discussed in the last slide, that it derives from psychology, sociology, anthropology, economics. So it is a combination of different disciplines which helps us in borrowing the insights from several social sciences. We say that the concept of organizational behavior is human-centered and also it is dynamic and situational. The individual changes their behavior on the basis of different situations because behavior changes with the culture, the time and the situations. Also it is said that it is both science and art. Why? Because we are calling it science as it comes from the scientific approach and different disciplines of science, and art because every individual have their different way of behaving in a particular manner. So we understand that OB is never static. It evolves as workplaces evolve. Whatever is happening in the workplace, the behavior will be evolved on the basis of the culture and environment of the workplace. Coming on to scope of organizational behavior, the scope of OB covers three main levels. One is the individual level, the other one is the group behavior, and the third one is the organizational system. In fact, the entire syllabus covers these three behaviors. In the coming units, we will be talking about the individual behavior as one unit, the other unit would talk about the group behavior, and the another unit would talk about the organization as a whole. So when we talk about this individual behavior, topics like personality, perception, motivation, all the behaviors that are associated with an individual comes under the scope of individual behavior. Whatever we are doing and in whatever way we are behaving when we work in a group setting or along with the team comes under the domain of group behavior. For example, team dynamics, communicating among the people, conflict in the team members, right? So they come under group behavior. Leadership can also be one of the example. Then we talk about organizational system or organization as a whole. So it talks about the structure of the organization, the culture of the organization. So managers who understand all the three levels, they align people and processes effectively. These levels of behavior needs to be understood well by the manager so that he is able to align everything effectively. Let's quickly move on to the challenges and opportunities in the modern organizational behavior. We see that the organization face many challenges. Let's say the very first example is globalization and diversity. The technology that is changing, the remote work culture that has now come up, especially after COVID, the workforce empowerment, how much power is to be given, how much authority, responsibility and accountability is given to the workforce, the ethical behavior concept and the change management concept. These are all the challenges and we also call them as opportunity for the organization to work effectively. These challenges also open the opportunities for innovation and flexible leadership. For instance, managing a team spread across India, Europe and US. So if your team is spread across these three different companies or diversified countries, then the cultural awareness and digital communication skills comes as the opportunity. So OB equips managers with exactly these tools to turn diversity and change into a competitive advantage. So these challenges are not only something that we should look forward from the negative perspective, they are actually creating the opportunity for the managers and the organizations to work effectively. Let's quickly move on to organizational goals. The goals of the organization behavior, the very first one is employee satisfaction. If the employees are not satisfied in the organization, then the behavior or the organizational objectives or the organizational structure would not work efficiently. So satisfaction of the employees comes as the very first goal of OB. Then comes organizational effectiveness. Effective working and effective culture within the organization is another important goal for any of the organization, because this effectiveness would only come when the employees are satisfied, when only the performance would increase, right? And all the people would work together towards achieving the organizational goals. Then comes the third goal, that is innovation and adaptability. Why are we actually focusing too much on the behavior of the employees? Because it is said that whenever we hire an employee, we are not hiring him for his skills or education alone. We are hiring him as an employee altogether who comes with certain habits, who comes with certain behavior, who comes with certain approaches. Right? So that is why organizational behavior becomes an important subject area to study. So another goal that we are talking about is innovation and adaptability. We want our employees to be more innovative, so that every day something new comes up. We are able to develop or design a better way of performing a task. And adaptability, a very, very important thing. Adaptability is important because in the organizational culture is all dependent upon the employees of the organization, the policies of the organization. So as much as the employees become adaptable, it becomes easy for everybody to work into that culture. Next goal of OB is efficient teamwork. We are talking about understanding the behavior of an individual individually, then the behavior of an individual in a group or while he is working in a team, and then the behavior of an individual in an organizational setting. So when an employee behaves in a particular manner or in a required manner, specifically when he is working in a team, that is where efficient teamwork comes into the picture. And the final goal of organization behavior is ethical performance. Of course, our focus is on increasing the performance, increasing the effectiveness in performance, but it has to be ethical. Ethical is nothing but something which is acceptable by everybody. Right? I hope these goals of OB are clear too. Let's now move on to models of organizational behavior. Over the time, management thinkers have identified 5 models. The very first model is autocratic model. This autocratic model is completely based upon power and authority dominate. It says that when a leader holds all the power and authority and he starts dominating, that means in the organization we are following an autocratic model where the employees or the subordinates are not given much power to take any decision, and the manager or the leader only holds the power and authority and he dominates the employees or the followers, which is where this model called as autocratic model is practicing. The second model is the custodial model. Under this, we are talking about economic security for obedience. This economic security for obedience means that we want our employees to feel secure, specifically in the terms of economic, that means the salary or the job security, right? Where management provides this security so that the loyalty of the employees increases. They become obedient. So here what is happening, that we are exchanging economic security from the loyalty. The next is the supportive model. Supportive model, as the name suggests, here we are saying that the leader encourages the followers. Leadership encourages participation. So a leader is very, very supportive here. He supports his followers or the subordinates in each and every task that they do. He says that I am standing with you. He keeps on motivating the employees and they both work together in a supportive setting. The next one is the collegial model. Collegial model is something over and above the supportive model where teamwork and shared responsibility comes into existence. When I say shared responsibility, this means that the leader and the employees, they both share their responsibility. They say that you individually is not responsible for the task that you are performing. Even I am responsible and we will do the task accordingly. Right? So there is a complete teamwork and shared responsibility. Then comes the system model. This system model is based upon the mutual trust, collaboration and growth for both the leader and the employees. There is a mutual trust among the leader and the employees. They work in a collaborative manner and therefore the growth follows. Right? So, for example, when we talk about these big MNCs, let's say Google, Infosys, they use a system model. And what do is they empower the employees, they value the ideas of their employees and they encourage innovation so that when everybody is working towards innovative models or to come up with innovative ways of performing the task, then the organization grows altogether. So these are the 5 important models of OB. Also, it is an important question that usually comes in the exams. Now let's move on to the last topic of this unit, that is impact of global and cultural diversity. When we talk about globalization, it has actually made today's workforce truly multicultural. There are different languages, different beliefs and work ethics that coexist with the same organization. We see that globalization brings diversity in language, value system and the behavior of the employees. This diversity can create challenges as well as the opportunities. So when we talk about challenges, it could be like miscommunication or biasness, And when we say that it also offers opportunities, we are here talking about the creativity and the global learning altogether. Right? So there could be challenges, there could be innovation, there could be opportunities when globalization comes into the picture. Because here we are actually saying that different employees from diverse regions of the world, when they come together, they work. That is where these challenges and opportunities come into the picture. So what should be the role of a manager here? A manager must develop the culture very intelligently. He should able to understand and respect differences while focusing on the shared goals for which every employee is working. And the team or the employees who are working in the organization, they should also embrace this diversity, become more adaptable and more innovative in return. Let's summarize whatever we have learned in this today's session. We have learned that organizational behavior studies people at work, individually, in groups, and as part of larger system. We have seen its scope is broad, its nature is human-centered, and its models show the evolution from control to collaboration. Then we had also seen that global and cultural diversity shape modern OB. We are trying to make it more adaptable. We are here talking about empathy, and we say that this empathy and adaptability becomes the essential managerial skills. Let's now focus on the examination questions that generally have been coming in previous years. Explain nature and scope of OB. Discuss challenges of OB in the global context. And what are the different models of OB? So these questions generally comes in the examination from Unit 1. And that wraps up today's session. So thank you for learning with BBA Simplified by Dr. Vinky Sharma. Stay tuned for the upcoming unit. Every day I upload a video at 7 p.m. Do like, share and subscribe for more marathon classes. Thank you so much for watching.